Hey guys, how are you? I hope that you're okay. I hope that you have been having a good vacation. I hope that you have been enjoying your time. Today we are going to start, if I'm not wrong, we are going to start your reading book because I think that we haven't started. I think that we have been reading, if I'm not incorrect, and you can correct me if I am, the other book. Yep, we haven't. So today we are going to start with your new book. Remember that we are going to read today. We are going to read the textbook, not your magic finger book. I'm sorry if the dogs and the cat are loud. Apparently, I fed the dog something that made the cat angry, so she's flattering herself in front of the dog, and they're just like rubbing each other's, I don't know, issues and pride. So if you hear the dog growling, it's because he's outside being angry because the cat is in front of the door. So this is the book that we're gonna start reading today. Give me a sec. Oop. And oop. Okay, so this is the book. See? Okay, so today we are going to start reading the first story. The first story in page, if I'm not wrong, is 4. Let me check. No, it's 2. Sorry. Remember that you have to check the numbers of pages in here, in the small corner, not in the index, but in the small corner over here. Let me show you. Wait. Sorry, book is it's being a little stubborn. Just give me a sec. Yeah, there should be a number over there. Oh no, wait. Oh yeah, it's in. I'm sorry, the dog again. It's angry. It's in page number 2. See, number 2. That's where we're going. That's where we are going to start. The name of the story is A Morning in Maine, if I'm not wrong. Yep, A Morning in Maine. Okay. So remember that you have to take notes in your notebook. You have to write the date of today. So you have to write today is Tuesday the 22nd, September 2020, okay? Take notes and remember that at the end of the story, there's a couple questions that we are going to answer. And remember, you can print the answers, you can print the question pages, or you can just copy everything in your notebook and you can work around it. Please do not text me to ask me this. I'm telling you now, you can print it if you have the money and the access to a printer. But if you don't have the money or the access to a printer, then copy everything in the notebook using a cover like I shown before, okay? I'm expecting the best. Please, guys, do your job. Okay, so let's start the story. A Morning in Maine. After you wrote the date, okay, ready? What would you like to see if you travel to Maine? Maine, I don't know exactly. I'm going to tell you what state of the United States that is. But that's a place in the States. Now, do I know that if it's a state or a city? I have no idea. Let's figure out. Maine. Oh, sorry. I wrote 9. Yeah, that happens with age. The older you get, the dumber you get. Maine. There we go. It says Maine is the northernmost state in the northeast United States. Maine is the 12th smallest by area, the 9th least populous, and the 13th less densely. So Maine is a state. If I'm oh no, yes. Maine, Portland. I don't know. I guess. Yeah, it's a state. It's a state number 30. Is the 12th state. So it's like Honduras has multiple states, but we call them departamentos. So we have Lloro, we have Gracias a Dios, we have many of them in Honduras. So the states have the same, but they call them states. Maine is one of them. So What would you like to see if you travel to Maine? Cameron, called Grandpa. Are you awake yet? It's almost 8 o'clock. We're wasting the day. Grandpa stood in the doorway. He wore faded blue jeans, a checkered shirt, and a big grin. Grandpa, groaned Cameron. Wait. I'm going too fast, I guess. So, a checkered shirt, it's a shirt with squares. I think that you wore some of those shirts with Miss Jocelyn last year. I don't know if it was you. And faded blue jeans. Blue jeans are kind of like old jeans. And a big grin is a humongous smile. That's a big grin. Grandpa, groaned Cameron. It's the first day of my vacation. I never get up this early when I'm on vacation. That's because you don't live in Maine, replied Grandpa, opening the shutters and letting the sun spill across the bed. There is so much to do here that you won't want to miss a thing. That's a song. Besides, I'm making blueberry pancakes. Pancakes are my favorite. If you don't get up soon, they might not last. Okay, the pancakes convince me. Pancakes always are good. Grandpa, said Cameron, swinging his legs out of bed. I had a feeling they might. Grandpa chuckled. Of the blueberry pancakes with warm maple syrup. I don't like maple syrup. Cameron and Grandpa discussed their plans for the day. I'd like to do some exploring this morning, said Cameron, taking a gulp of milk. Oh, milk makes me sick. Does that path next to the cabin go straight down to the beach? And how do you get to that little island with the pine trees? Do you think we could catch some fish for dinner? Grandpa laughed. I thought there were a few things you might want to do today instead of sleep. Why don't we go for a walk on the beach after breakfast? Later we can go fishing on the island. Sounds good to me, said Cameron excitedly. Cameron and Grandpa did the dishes. All the plates and all the cups were they eaten, they washed them and they put them away. That's called did the dishes. Then they put on some old sneakers is tennis shoes or sneakers, and followed the sandy path to the beach. The air felt crisp and warm. There was not a cloud in the sky. Cameron was a few steps ahead of his grandfather. He stopped to look at a pool of water that had formed between some rocks. Look at this, Grandpa, shouted Cameron. It's like a miniature ocean. Cameron crouched down to get a better look. Grandpa peered over his shoulder. There are so many little creatures in there, Cameron said. How did they get there? So they're looking at are creatures in a small pond or a small pool in front of the ocean. It's a tide pool, Cameron, said Grandpa. You'll see them all along this beach. They are my favorite thing to look for my morning walks. You see, when the tide goes out, the water gets caught in shallow pools. It's a pretty neat way to see a little slice of ocean life. Cameron nodded. This is very cool, he said. If we had stuff like this at home, I might actually want to get up early. I have a feeling this is going to be a great vacation. So as you can see, Cameron went to have some vacation time at his grandfather's house. But let's be honest, I like to wake up at 1 p.m. every day if I could. But so when we are on vacation, we just do it. We just wake up whenever we can or whenever we want to. So in the case of Cameron, he wanted to wake up late, but Grandpa said, no, there's a lot of things that they wanted to do. He wanted to go to the beach. He wanted to go discover an island. He wanted to go fishing, some fish in the ocean. It was so much funny things that he could do that he didn't really have enough time to divide his time. So this is the page that we've been reading, so we can clarify that we all are reading the same page. Okay? Now let's do the activity. In page 3, page 2 and 3. So you are gonna either print this page if you want to, or you can copy the whole page in your notebook, everything in your notebook, okay? All the questions with a pen and the answers with a pencil. And if you're doing already cursive, all the questions with a pen in cursive and all the answers with a pencil in print, okay? Okay. So we have write D before the sentences that are true and write F before the sentences that are false. So this is an activity that you can stop the video, get your photocopy if you have your photocopy, or you can start copying. Let's imagine that we're gonna copy, okay? So this is gonna be my notebook and I start. So I write the date. Today is Tuesday, September 20, was it 23rd? No, it was 22nd. September 22nd, 2020. So we write the date. Remember that the cover with all your data is only once every 2 weeks we're gonna make it. I'm gonna notify your parents. So we have in there and we write a morning in Maine. It's gonna be the title of the story that we are reading today, and then we do the activities. Okay, so we write page 3 just like this. Okay, I'm not gonna make this for you every time. Sometimes we're just gonna discuss the questions, but because these are the first few classes, you should know that you should write date, the title of the story, and the number of the page of that we are discussing in that day. Now we can write the questions. Number 1. So we're gonna write 1 space. Oh wait, sorry, instructions. Write D before the sentences that are true and write F before the sentences that are false. So if you have already the book printed, you don't have to write the instructions because you have already written. But if you don't have it, you're going to have to write it down. So let's write these instructions. Number 1. Oh my god, this pen is not very visible. Might say that I have a purple one. I mean, it's not purple, it's like fuchsia. Yep. 1 line. I'm gonna write cursive and print so you can see both examples. Cameron, see? Cursive and then print. Cameron is visiting his grandpa in Massachusetts. Is visiting his grandpa in Massachusetts. Double S, double T. Okay, now let's go back to the story. If we go back to the story, we will see it says Cameron called grandpa. Are you awake yet? It's almost 8 o'clock. Yada 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 yada. Oh, it's the name of the story is called A Morning in Maine. Is it called A Morning in Massachusetts? No, it's not. So in here, I wouldn't write true. I would write false. Because the statement is false. He is not going to Massachusetts. He is going to Maine. Okay? Next. I'm not going to give you all the examples. Cameron wakes up before Grandpa does. Number 2. Line. Cameron wakes up before Grandpa does. Okay? So is that true? Who was sleeping and who was waking up who? Was Cameron wake up before Grandpa? True or false? It's false. So in here we write the F of false because Cameron was sleeping. He wasn't woken up when Grandpa was up already. He was still sleeping. So this is the same thing that we are going to do with the whole thing. If you have the page printed, you just have to fill in the lines over here. But if you don't have it printed, you have to copy all the 7 sentences in here and write true or false if the statement is true or if it's false. If you don't really know the answer to one of the questions, then go back to the story and you can know. I'm going to discuss it, but I'm not going to write in the notebook anymore. It was just an example. Number 3, Grandpa makes blueberry pancakes for breakfast. Is that true or false? Let's see. Yep. And in paragraph number 3 says, that's because you don't live in Maine, replied Grandpa, opening the shutters and letting the sun spill across the bed. There's so much to do here that you won't want to miss a thing. Besides, I'm making blueberry pancakes. Blueberry pancakes. And the statement says, Grandpa makes blueberry pancakes. So is that true or false? Bling. I don't know. You're going to have to choose. T for true and F for false. Cameron and Grandpa plan to go fishing in the afternoon. Are they planning to go fishing? It says in there. Let's go back to the story. Paragraph number 7. Grandpa laughed. I thought there were a few things you might want to do instead of sleep. Why don't we go for a walk on the beach after breakfast? Later we can go on the island. Oh, wait. Yeah, it doesn't say, I guess. It says something about fishing, right? Cameron and Grandpa plan to go fishing in the afternoon. And it says, after breakfast, we can go fishing. Oh, it's true. Sorry, I gave you the answer. So it's, I mean, they would go fishing after breakfast. That would be afternoon. So I'm going to give you the answer. That's true. The next it says, Cameron and Grandpa have to drive to get to the beach. Should they drive to go to the beach or they were walking? I don't know. So what you should write? T for true or F for false? Later we have, Grandpa finds the tide pool before Cameron does. Remember that they were walking on the beach and somebody sees like a small pond or like a small pool of ocean animals and creatures in there. Who finds it? Is it Grandpa? So it's true? Or is it somebody else, like maybe, I don't know, Cameron, and it's false? You're gonna have to choose. And then, name one thing Cameron wants to do when he goes exploring. So let's go back to the story. Remember, you have to copy these questions, right? And then you have to answer them. Now it says, one thing he wants to do when he goes exploring. There's a lot of things he wants to do. They are in paragraph number 6 of the story. So what are all the things that he wants to do? It says in there, I like to do some exploring this morning, said Cameron, taking a gulp of milk. Does that path next to the cabin go straight down to the beach? And how do you get to that little island with the pine trees? Do you think we could catch some fish for dinner? So as you can see, he wants to do multiple things. But we are going to discuss those questions tomorrow because we have to, I have to leave you space enough so you can answer the questions that I just gave you, okay? So tomorrow we're going to continue. So tomorrow we're going to continue with question number 7. So for today, only these 6 questions have to be filled in the photocopy if you have it, or, sorry, in the photocopy if you have it, or copied in the notebook if you have it, in the notebook if you don't have it photocopied or printed, okay? So I'll see you tomorrow, guys. And remember, do not send me anything until I ask for it. Finish your work in the class because you still have 20 more minutes to work in your stuff in the notebook or in the book, and then you can be free. But if you don't work daily, the day that I ask for your work, you're gonna be in trouble. I don't want classwork every day. No todos los días quiero tarea. No mandar cosas todos los días. No. Solamente cuando yo le avise, estimado estudiante, hoy se abre la plataforma, suba su trabajo en clase. Todos los días no quiero trabajo. ¿Ok? Please, guys. I'm begging you, explain your parents, because sometimes they freak out too because they lack understanding. Sometimes in the language, either because I speak too fast or because my accent is weird. So I have to face that. So I'll see you tomorrow. Sorry, I keep talking. Bye, guys.